Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another video. And today we're talking to Ryan Atkins. If you're new to this channel, did you know that I am also not a very good singer? Well, now you know. I spoke with your new world champion, Ryan Atkins, as soon as he got back. He's home in Canada. We sat down, we talked, and I can't wait to bring it to you. Before I do that, I want to take a quick moment to welcome our three newest Patreon members, Julie Tashera, Cody Carpenter, and Erica Bruno. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I mean that. And it is not too late for you to get in on the Patreon train. That's right. Join over 200 folks that are part of this club that contribute to the everyday running of Obstacle Racing Media, where your help, where your contributions, that's right, yours, you personally help us get to more races, provide more content, hire more editors, all that great stuff to help us bring you great content like you see here all the time. Interviews, live race coverage, the awesome podcasts that we do. So come on and join. Links below. Let's get to Ryan Atkins. Away we go. Ryan Atkins.
Hey.
Heard you talking to some people about getting on a bike and being all sweaty and then going sitting in the fucking sauna you built, which I'm totally going to build one of those in my backyard. I don't know if you heard, but I saw the thing. I'm like, I'm fucking building one of those.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I want to race like a champion. Do you think it physically prepared you, or do you think it just like mentally? So when you were in the heat, you were like, oh, I've sat in worse than this.
Well, I mean, honestly, probably both. Also, if you're like used to the heat, like it didn't really actually feel that hot, to be honest. The only time it felt, because there was like a little bit of a breeze, and it was it's pretty dry there when we raced. It's like more humid in the morning and then less humid in the afternoon. So like honestly, it didn't feel that hot. So I don't know if that was just the preparation or that wasn't actually that hot. The only time it felt hot was going, I don't know if you saw the venue, but like there was like, they sent you up the dune, like right in front of everybody. And it was like hands on knees. You take a step up and you like, say you step up 20 inches, you slide back down like 12. It was like, just like, oof, oof, oof. So that was, and then at that point, there's no breeze on you. You're working really hard to go uphill. So that was the only time I actually felt hot. Otherwise, it wasn't too bad.
So I know you are a planner. You look at the course, you look at the map, you look at how you're going to attack it. How do you measure how much energy to expel up that thing and go, okay, well, like I can't fucking redline up the stupid hill right off the bat.
Well, that was actually halfway into the race.
Oh, okay.
That was halfway.
But either way, though, like knowing that's where it is and knowing what you got to do.
Oh yeah, it was just. I mean, like any racing, it's especially like once you're an hour into a 2-hour race, it's pretty hard to like go out and then put in an effort that's going to totally break you for the rest of the event because you've kind of reached like a homeostasis of effort and of like your heat and how you're feeling. It's all kind of just leveled out. So I mean, it would have been silly to try really hard there. Also, it was like a case of the more energy you put in, like it's like almost like the slower you go. So you just have to kind of chill out.
Did you think I'll probably see Sergey and John late in the day, or did you think, man, who knows what's going to happen out here today?
Yeah, a bit of who knows what's going to happen. I think what happened is, so like maybe 5 miles into the race, 4.5, 5 miles, I had like a 45-second gap on John and Sergey, and I was like feeling good, everything's fine, and I was like, maybe I'll just run away with this. And then there was this long we had to traverse the dune for like maybe a quarter mile right after the rig. So you traverse the dune. It's like the softest part of the whole course, and it's like side hill. So you're like stepping and you're sinking down like 8 or 10 inches every step. So I had this gap and I started traversing the side hill. And
So
on the
like
one,
halfway up your calf, like that deep?
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, like your shoe would be buried with every step. Um, so yeah, I was like, oh, I've got a sweet gap, but honestly, the sand was so deep, I was like, there's no point in like going really hard here. So I did take my foot off the gas a little bit, but all of a sudden they've closed like a 50-second gap and they're with me at the spear throw. And I think it's because no one had walked on that part, and then I like it's kind of like in the snow when one person walks, then the next people can walk in their footsteps. So like being out in front was kind of a bit of a dumb move because then I think John and Sergey were able to use my footsteps and like close this. I mean, 50 seconds is still like it's a decent gap. Um, so then they were right there with me, and maybe they had to put in a bit of a dig to close that gap too. And I backed off a little bit, but still, I was like, these guys are back. Like, what? Um, and so at that point, I was like, yeah, I mean, a little worried because it's like if they all of a sudden are going 20% faster than me, like that's kind of worrisome. But I think it was just a bit of an anomaly with like that particular section of course and stuff.
So did John say, "Hi, Ryan"?
No, I think I said something about how like this is as close to being hell as we're ever going to be when we were going up that soft section. He was like, "Oh yeah," just like super understated, John. Yeah.
So take us from there on, kind of how the rest of the, because I didn't Sergey pull ahead at a couple points?
Yeah, so then so we got off all that. We got off like the main big dune and then we're back into like the rolly kind of sections of sand running. Um and these are just it's so bizarre. It's like there'll be like a little hill like maybe 10 seconds and on like certain aspects of the hill the sand will be like really hard and then like the next step it's like super soft and then like depending on where you run or how you're running or like how hard you're pushing down is like there's like all these factors that are going into like how fast you're moving. um so the whole time you're just constantly like trying to figure out where the heck I should run. But yeah, so after that we came off the dune into this rolly stuff and then we're all running together for like maybe a couple 100 yards, and then Sergey kind of like put in a little surge, and then I
A little
went
surge
a little surge
gay.
gay. um, yeah, so I kind of went with him, and then it was like 10 seconds on John, and I thought he was gonna like just kind of come back, and then came down. We did, and then I think I attacked, and then we did Tyro, and I kind of came into Tyro with a 10-second lead and came out of it with like a 15-second lead. And then Sergey like closed this gap on me. And then it was just like, and when he did that, John was just like, so this was like maybe halfway into the race. John just like kind of fell off the back. And then there was this obstacle called Cliff Climb, which was just like an insanely steep sand dune. There's probably pictures of it. They had ropes at the top, and so we went up Cliff Climb, and Sergey and I went up that pretty hard. And at that point, John had like maybe 15 or 20 seconds off of us. But then him and I just kept attacking each other nonstop for the rest of the race. And then John, I think he just, I don't know if he gave up or couldn't handle it. I'm sure he'll tell you that he gave up and just whatever. But yeah, he was gone, and yeah, then it was just Sergey doing these like little 1 minute attacks, and me just like responding, and then I would like put in little attacks, and neither of us were really going all in, but it probably happened like 10 times where like one of us would get like a 5-second lead, and then the other would close it and stuff.
So which mile is it time to stop playing games?
Well, did that happen all the way to the end?
But I'm saying at some point you got to be like, I can't let him do that again. I've got to do this like now and go all in.
yeah, well, that was like the final climb. You go up, um, and it's kind of like an access road, so like people have driven on it, so the sand's like super soft, and then you go up, 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 and then there's the sandbag carry, and then you go up another like I don't know minute, and then you're at the top of the dune. Then it's just the downhill and the finish. So I knew that coming into it was actually very Big Bear esque because like carry and then descent and then a couple obstacles and finish. So I knew that I had to get in front of him before the carry, and I had to just stay in front of him till the end and put as much time on him between there and the top of the dune as I could. So I was able to carry a bit faster than him, get like maybe 5 or 6 seconds on him coming into the descent, and then it's just like push to the finish. So yeah.
Did you think I am reaching back to all my ancestors?
No, I thought like I was literally just like, there's no freaking way I'm gonna let this happen to me twice in 1 year. Like replay of Big Bear, or like there's no freaking way I'm gonna finish second again after I don't know if I finished 5 or 6 times second, but I think five.
It's five at that race, but you have a couple of other seconds to John at OCRWC, right?
Right. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna keep digging and digging and digging and digging until I stay in front. So that was special.
So it wasn't until I'm guessing you're coming into that final like run there, right, where it hits you and you're like, this is actually going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, once I crested the final hill in front of him, I was like pretty sure, and then I was but I didn't know how if I could descend the dune faster than them, which I think I did. But like at that point, your legs are so blown out that, and you're trying to run as fast as you can. But I'm like, if I go any faster, like my legs are literally just going to collapse with one of these footsteps, and I'm just going to like roll down this dune in like a heap of pain. So, uh, so you're running as fast as you can, but also trying to like meter it out a bit because yeah, muscularly the whole course was just brutal. So like doing just like doing thousands and thousands of little squats with like elastic bands and a weight vest on.
Yeah, I think Faye had said, and I know they started later than you, but she said that it actually got cooler as the race went on, and so it was kind of nice. But was it was starting to sun was starting to go down when you finished, right?
Yeah, just barely.
But did you feel like a marked difference? Like, oh, this is 8 degrees cooler or 10 degrees cooler than when I started?
Not really, no. I mean, I think because you start and your body temperature is low naturally, and then as you race, it goes up, but then like the air temperature is going down. But the air temperature goes down a couple degrees, and your body temperature just keeps going up. So like it's a bit of like a case of one thing's going up and the other thing is going down. But so I don't know. It feels a little cooler on the skin, but your body's like perception of the heat is like still high.
Right. I'm someone that sweats a great deal, which in the summer is horrible, but in the winter it's kind of nice because I don't have to layer up as much as I need. I just know how hot my head will get if I just put a fucking beanie on. I mean, a buff on.
We call those toques in Canada.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not a toque; it's a buff. It's just the
Okay.
standard buff. But I only
Okay.
recently learned Ryan Atkins, thanks to your amazing headband, Superfan 99 that I wear. I learned that I'm like 10 degrees cooler if I just put it here and not covering my head so the heat can escape.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now I wear only headbands. I got one from you, got one from Faye, got a lot of them now. Got a lot of
Yeah,
Spartan
headbands are sweet actually. As much as like I probably wouldn't race in them if we didn't have to, but I
right.
really don't mind racing in them now. Originally, I thought they were like I would be racing and just having anything on me would like make me think I'm hot, but
Right.
yeah, now it's pretty normalized.
Right. So we did get to see the emotional Rai at the finish. Not a normal thing. I thought it was great.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was. I think it's pretty easy to be emotional in a time like that. Like after so many years and after like just such a hard effort. Like there was just so many things floating around in yeah, your mind and body, spirit.
Watching all the way from here and seeing that, I wanted to hug you, so I'm kind of glad I wasn't there. I would have been very unprofessional if I was
Oh
Dave
yeah.
Magida. I would have been like, I would have just been like, let me hug you. This guy's like the greatest. He's a teddy bear.
This guy needs a hug right about now.
Which was great. It was only barely second to like Lindsay winning, but much more importantly, like coming over to see you. That was also pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. I
So
hope Spartan does something cool with like all the footage and stuff they got, because I mean, all the little Instagram things they put out have been like better than anything they put out. All the little 30 seconds, and I don't know if that's because they have better editors or because the footage like the Abu Dhabi Sports Council people like got, or like a combination or whatever. But or because it's just so visually stunning, like the area,
no, I
that it
think
like
listen,
looks
a
better.
good a good editor can make, only a few people look great if you do a lot of close-ups and cool stuff. So filming is only and yes, having a great background is awesome. But those guys, whatever, like the Abu Dhabi Sports Council had it up like 20 minutes after the race ended, which throws, Mike Morris's every minute of footage takes 4 days to edit, like out the window, right? Remember he said that about Spartan games. They
Yeah,
put together two really quick videos that they did a great job.
yeah,
And
yeah. Like half an hour after the end, it was insane. I'm like,
yeah,
wow,
it was
that
nice.
stuff normally Spartan would take like a month to put out. They were like, we've been curating these 3 second clips for the last month, and we finally put them together.
So goal achieved, right?
Goal achieved. Yeah,
So now you can just open a coffee shop with your wife and like call it a day, right?
and hang out. Yeah,
Right.
totally. Yeah, why not? Yeah, pretty psyched to finally make it happen. I mean, it's I guess it's still kind of like the ramifications are still like setting in and stuff, but it was awesome.
So you feel like it hasn't really sunk in yet.
I don't think so fully. Yeah, I think it like still is. I don't know why, but like I've won so many events and things and stuff, but like this just feels like maybe it's because I haven't won it, or it's like is Spartan World Champs like the World Champs? Like I don't know. No one knows. Like what's a World Champs? Is it a World Champs because you say it's a World Champs? But yeah, in my mind it was like a big deal. So it's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best of the world show up, then it makes it a world championship, and that's what Spartan World Champs is. Is it bigger than OCR World Champs? That I couldn't tell you. They're both world championship titles, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Spartan is a brand that has millions of participants, and OCR Worlds is like a few hundred people once a year. So like I guess maybe that's part of the reason why like it just feels bigger. But I
Right.
don't know.
What do you feel about the lack of American men up there, man? The men just fucking screwed the pooch, man.
Like the lack of people at the event, or the lack of people in the top
We didn't crack the
15.
top. We didn't crack the top 10. USA was like US of A was not really that great.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, not that surprised. Like if you look
Are
at
the
it
are the are the other
traditionally,
people that much better, or we just didn't send our best, or they just couldn't handle the terrain, or
I think it's a combination of the travel, the time zone change, and lack of familiarity, and yeah, and just like no one having a great race. Like if you look at OCRWC when it happened in London, it was the same thing. There was no Americans in like the top 10. Um, like I don't know, you have it in the US and like people can perform, and you have it overseas and they can't.
it's too bad our buddy Woodsy didn't make it. Would have
Yeah,
loved to know.
I think Woodsy could have definitely top 10, probably maybe top 5 out there. I believe in him. But yeah, other than Woodsy, I don't really know. It's pretty. It's a hard course, and it's a course that like is basically very much just like engine. It's just like doesn't really matter if you're like a smooth runner or a good climber. It's just like it was very. I found it very like my ability to ride like a bike well. I feel like was part of like what led to my success because it's like it's very much just like pedaling and like molasses.
Do you think that's why Lindsay also did well? She has a big fat engine.
Yeah, I mean totally, and I mean she's just crushed everybody all year, so that helps.
It turns out she had an undefeated Spartan season.
Yeah, pretty rad. I don't think anyone's ever done that. Even like Hobie back in the day, like would get beat at world champs or something, and
Right.
like, yeah,
Well, and the level of competition wasn't even like close to what it is now. The strength of
yeah,
schedule wasn't even close back then for Hobie. So I think we need to
yeah,
announce this more. We need to talk about it more. That Lindsay Webster had a perfect season.
yeah. OCRWZ and not a single Spartan loss.
That's pretty impressive.
Pretty cool. Yeah,
And now she really does. Now she really does want to open a coffee shop.
now she can really just goat it up.
Goat it up, just be a mountain goat.
Yeah,
Or you mean just like do what goats do when they retire?
yeah. Just I don't know. She's just like, yeah. I don't know. People love the term goat, but I mean, I think that her winning 3 world champs, winning how many OCRWC world champs, undefeated seasons, there's just no arguing that like men or women side, she's like the best by far ever. Like there's like no like it doesn't pretty cool.
So is there a male goat?
Um no, I don't think so. I think like every guy has had like just yeah, there's just hasn't been any guy who's had the same kind of dominance. I think.
So if you went on to win, let's say two more of these, right? Like two more Spartans. Like, okay, well all right, let's. I'm gonna have to stop my train of thought there because I just remembered about World's Toughest. Would you say you're the goat of that? Whatever we want to call that, 24-hour racing, endurance, OCR. Like, would you say you're the goat of that with as many titles as you have?
Sure. I mean, yeah, maybe, but like I think that yeah, I don't know. Lindsay and I were talking about this last night. I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I like won like U.S. National Series and North Americans and Worlds and Ultra and World Stuff Smutter and OCRWC in one year? Like that would be cool. So I don't know. Maybe that's like the next year goal. But I mean, I was pretty close this year, except for VJ getting me at the Big Bear. But it is what it is.
Well,
I
I
think
think.
this. I think this was my best season I've ever had, which is pretty rad.
Well, I think take out Worlds Toughest Mudder because that's a whole nother. But I think if you swept the other things, that'd be pretty. Like if you said, okay, this is what I want to do. Like I'm not going to
Yeah,
sweat a 24
right.
hour event, which is a whole nother thing. But
Yeah,
I'm going to try to sweep OCR. I think that's a great goal to have.
yeah, yeah,
So all you have to do is not get beat by VJ, right?
yeah. It's hard when VJ just concentrates on like the short stuff, and he is like really good at that stuff, and he just like is laser focused about it. But yeah, I think I've kind of found a new level this year, and I can take that momentum into next year.
Well, why did he beat you at whatchamacallit then, though, at the end there?
In Big Bear,
Yeah, what happened? I forget.
uh, he just beat me. I'm not going to make excuses. He had a great
Okay.
race. Yeah,
Okay.
I fucked up. He won. Yeah, it was. But I would have much rather have. I think the way it played out was perfect because if I hadn't had that experience, I might not have won Spartan Worlds. Sergey might have passed me in the end, and I might have just done my usual. Oh, I'll catch him on the next uphill when he fades, and then run out of real estate.
Then there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. It's like Would you rather? Would you rather win national series or world champs?
Yeah, I'll take world champs.
Yeah.
There you go. That was Ryan Atkins, fresh home from Abu Dhabi. We have lots of great stuff here. So do me a favor, hit subscribe, then hit the bell, and you'll get notified when these videos come your way. We do a lot of watch parties. Not sure if you've ever been part one of those, but basically, not basically, I get on my kids for that all the time. They're always like, well, basically. I'm like, it's not basically, just say the sentence. So what happens is when we do watch parties, bing, this thing goes live. You're the first to watch it. You interact, you conversate, you integrate, you cohabitate with other members of the community, and we kind of watch it together like a little watch party. It's called a watch party for a reason. So yeah, that's what we do most of the time. So hit the follow, like button, subscribe, share thing, and also, man, Patreon would be awesome if you supported us. It's holiday time. It's a time of giving, and I want to keep giving you more content. So perhaps you can give me some of your hard-earned buck to help you bring you that content. But listen, you never have to. No pressure. We love you anyway. Love you, miss you, mean it. Gotta run.